You can. Check it out. I added a new link at bottom. एकदम last. Go run it. Lab 4. No, go to academics, software engineering. Okay, dude, you're there. Just go to lab 4.
There is no lab 4.
Oh, really? 1 second. There's a blackboard thing there. 1 second. Okay, can you see it now? Can you see? Can you guys see it now? Can you guys see it now? Fast. We don't have time. It's only 1:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 20 minutes, guys. Just can you see वहाँ पे sub? Yeah. So you can see there are four. The first 3 links are the articles which you can go home and read. Those are my blog posts. You can go and read them about what we are going to do today. There is a Zoom.us. That is your link. Zoom.us. Yeah, that is your link. You guys are there? Can you see my screen already? Amir?
Yes. No.
Okay, so here we are going to we're just going to see the profile controller. Guys, we are there? No? Okay, as you can see the first function, we are going to run this render page function. It returns a model and view. Makes sense? From a controller you are returning a model and view. When to run this function? Whenever your server gets a mapping of / of type get. Okay? Now this is what you're doing. So we are just sending him the index page. Now in my index page, you can see here I have something like just a form. I just have a form. Okay, the action is set to / upload. So whenever you submit the form, whatever is in the form will be sent onto this URI. Make sense? The type is the method is post, and the type of the form is multi-part form data. Okay. So what happens is you can say, let's say you're sending a file, and you want to send this file from A to B. So instead of sending the entire file, what you do is you break the file in multiple pieces, and then you send it through the network. That increases the reliability of the file being sent, and also the speed is also better because you're dividing it and then sending it, so you don't need to send a single stream. This is what we are trying to do here. Now you can see there's only one input type, that is equal to file, and the second is just text. I don't need it. I'm going to remove it. So you don't need it. There's just a file. You can see the file. Okay, and there's a submit button. In the profile picture, in the profile.jsp, you can see I just have I've just imported Bootstrap. Now what is Bootstrap? It is like the UI library. There are a few. It's a library for your UI. We'll talk about it in the next lab. Don't worry about that for now. But this is what it is. So you can see the img tag over here. Img tag has a src set to img src. You can see this tag. It means that we are going to receive this variable from the controller. Understood? So and this is the alternate text if the image is not available. Now you can see my profile controller. If there is something comes at / upload, /upload, you get it? We will run this function. We are telling Spring, because it is in the controller, that to map this URI when it is post to this function. Are we clear on that? Okay. Now last time we did have a small hello world. So if you guys don't know this concept, please come in the office hours. We'll talk about it. Now as you can see, okay, what are we sending from the form? Just one input tag. Earlier I had 2 input tags. One is a text and one is a file. So why was it? So if I want to receive that onto my server, I just pass it as parameters. What Spring does is he will take those whatever comes in that and give it to me in the function as parameters. So I tell him that request parameter. So again an annotation called as file. The name of the input tag in that HTML form is here, and give it to me as a object image of type multi-part file. We are cool over there. Earlier I had this request parameter something and it was a string. So I did, so this is an example for you guys to understand. If we have multiple input parameters, just copy paste the name over here and annotate with request map parameter. Because I removed it from there, I want to remove it from here as well. Now you can see I am creating a new model and view because this function requires a model and view to be returned back. I'm just going to create a new model and view. This is your basic AWS credentials object. Now guys, please understand. You'll be asking me what this object is. It's like that's how you're supposed to use the SDK. That's how it's supposed to be. Like, make sense? Okay, so we are creating a new object called cred of type basic AWS credentials. We are putting the username and password, the access key and the secret access pass, whatever inside here. So this is argument 1, argument 2. We are building a new S3 client of type Amazon S3. May make sense? And we are passing him this cred. Now where is he? He's in US East 2. Have I lost you? I think I've lost you. In AWS there are multiple regions. So AWS can be in Ohio. I think there are two data centers of AWS in Ohio. So yeah. So what happens is you're telling now what you're doing is you're configuring a client. As in, let's say you are supposed to go to that browser, go to that website, and then do some action. That's what you're doing. You're just creating a client which will do this for you. So you are creating a S3 client of type Amazon S3. We are good there? What are we passing him? Now we are just passing him the credentials that we created earlier on the screen. And where is it? With the region of US S2. Because my account is linked to this ID, this region. We are going to create a put object request. So which is again put object request. This is your bucket name. Got it? This is the bucket name that you created. That is your bucket name. This is the key. Now in S3 there is a very simple concept. Extremely simple concept. Every object that you put is identified by a key. Got it? So if you want to tell S3 ki bhai, this is your object, brother, this is your object. Store it for me, please. It will be identified by a key. Now the name is key. So what is the object? This is your file. And what is your key? Is your file name. Got it? So what if you want to access a file? What do you access it by? Your file name, right? Same concept. Just the file name and the file. So I will be passing the bucket where I want to post it. The name of the file. So I'm just going to say image.get original file name, and after that I'm going to do get input stream. So again, so whenever this file is coming to me as a part of, like I told you, it's broken and then it's sent to us. So we're just creating an input stream from that and just sending it to AWS with new object metadata. There is a concept of metadata in S3. You can have something called as a metadata which can be associated with each object. Make sense? Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to make this file, whatever we are uploading, as publicly readable. Because in our assignment, we are going to upload the image to Amazon S3 and the image will be served from Amazon S3. Get it? Or no? If you have doubts, please let me know. No? Okay. Then this is what we're doing. So we are telling the AWS SDK that it has to be public read. Got it? Now what is ACL? ACL is like an access control list. You could tell him like this is accessible only to certain users, but we are telling him that this file is to be accessed over the internet. So it has to be for public read. Got it? Now we just see S3 client. Now we are calling this S3 client and we are telling him take this request and do a put object request for me. So S3 client will go to AWS and put whatever we told him earlier. You can see in this bucket he'll put these things and then get it back to you. So after this step, your file is there on AWS. Got it? So now what we are going to do is now we need to access that file. Now when that file goes to AWS, it has a unique URI. So that URI is of the format like http your bucket name dot s3.amazonaws.com / whatever is your key name. So are we good with that? No? Now what we are going to do is we are just going to add this object called img src. Why are we adding this? Because our profile.jsp expect img src from the controller. That's why I am adding img src from the controller. So this string will be passed to the controller with img src. Got it? Now we are going to set the view name as profile. So this profile is what we are going to set the view as. Make sense? So what we did by now, whenever a browser sent a post request consisting of the file to our server, we created the request, sent the request to S3. Now we want to return something back. I'm correct? We are returning back a view with model. Why the model? Because we are adding this img src because we want to tell the view कि भाई the image is over here. I need to send the image there. Alright? So this is the image URI. I'm sending it over there. In the profile picture, I'm just rendering this image with the src, with the img src. So I'll just run this for you. Right click, run as Spring Boot application. As you can see, it's running on Tomcat 8080, on port 8080. If I go to the index page, I'll be greeted with the form. That's correct. When I select choose file and I select anything like, let's say this lol.png, open. Now what will happen is when I click on the submit button, it will come to my Spring Boot application, sent. This file will be uploaded into my bucket. Okay. It will not work on my thing because I don't have the S3 Amazon. I deleted the IAM roles and the S3 bucket. That is the reason. These steps we have already done. I'm just doing it here. S3. We have the bucket. I'm creating a new user. The username is something. Programmatic access. Next. S3. I'm going to select this. Select S3. Can you see my browser or no?
No.
Okay. Now yes? No? So I just created the user. That's all I did. As you can see, this is my access key, this is my access password, and I replaced that into my AWS, into my Spring application. Now, this might look like what, but if I say right click, inspect element, you can see the SRC is this, Feb 115, that's my bucket name, .s3.amazonaws.com / lol.png. And if I go to my S3 now, and to my bucket, I can say this is the image. Got it? So that's all it is. I will post this code on GitHub right now. So I get access to this one. That's all. That was the aim of today's lab. Now, everything we did has been recorded and it's already there. You can see the YouTube link in that lab 4. So we do everything in that link. You could get it from there. I'll also paste the GitHub link for this project report. It's very simple. You create a credentials object. You create a client using that credentials object. Then you tell the client to put all of your things into AWS. As simple as that. Got it? So guys, see you in the lab hours, in the office hours if you have any doubts. Okay? Thank you guys. Have a nice day. Come. Please come in. Yes.
So what can't we upload this over that page?
What do you mean by that?
Image, this image has to post image on AWS, right? So can't we use this image and that page and we can link to the I want to pay.
How will you do that? Tell me. What is the concept? See, it's like that is a static hosting.
Can't I make it dynamic?
You can, but you have to use CGI. That's like a C programming thing, which we don't really, nobody actually uses it. You have to use something else, like maybe PHP, but PHP, you can use PHP, or you can use, see, you use a server called as Nginx.
Yeah.
So Nginx you mostly use for proxying and static hosting. You could tell Nginx that you want to run some request on Spring. We could do that, but I spoke this in the last lecture. What we are trying to do is we are going to eliminate this, because why? It's a much more easier thing. If you see this application, it runs as a containerized application. So what we are doing is, in one of the forms, you can say one of them is Tomcat embedded. So our entire application is embedded with this server itself. So when we are sending that jar file, we are sending the application along with this server. You get the point? So whenever I just say java-jar and I run this jar file with it, it starts this server by itself. So you don't need this. You don't need all of these things. That's one of the advantages of Spring.
But this one is HTML, that was easy.
Sorry?
But this one is on HTML, the what was
We will be hosting whatever we made today on EC2 today, in the next lab. But you get the concept. It's like, yeah, you get the concept. We are using, what we are doing is, see, technically, if you had a normal JSP application, you would take the application in a WAR file, export it there, and run it on this server. What we are doing here is, we take the application, we embed the server with the application. You understand what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to embed the server with the application. What that gives me is, I don't need to install an additional server onto a machine. You take the application anywhere, the server comes with you. See, if you were making a JSP application, let's say, you had to install the Tomcat. Did we install Tomcat? No. We told Maven to take the Tomcat, take our application and bundle them up. That's what we did. We're going to do that in the next lab. We're going to upload the thing onto our EC2 and then we're going to try that. What the hell? Again, there is nobody here. Okay, guys, thank you. अरे मैं इसको spoke about him last lab. So थोड़ा सा ठीक है. I'll but I get your point. Next step करता हूँ.
और वरना ये तो वो पहले प्रीवियस वाले का भी डालेगा क्या YouTube पे?
ये वाला अच्छा ना. हाँ. यहाँ पे सब previous वाले का तो it was a theory thing. So
Okay.
it is more of a theory thing.
हाँ वो मैं देखा उसमें पता
That's why. What is it out?
ना डाउट नहीं है लगा
मेरा idea क्या है कि you have to spend 2 hours at least.
हाँ.
Offices में क्या करना? If you have a doubt, we'll clear it then and there. Make sense?
Actually simple.
It's very simple.
ये जो AWS का तूने जो तरीका बोला ना, इससे भी एक फास्ट रहता है.
You can just do the post part.
हाँ, तुझे कुछ भी लिखने का जरूरत नहीं है,
form.
और प्रॉपर्टीज के थ्रू तो कर सकते हैं. तुझे इतना भी करने का
The form tag, right?
हाँ.
Yes, in form tag we did decide on the, if you see the assignment मैंने उसको directly add किया था,
हाँ.
but later I removed it because यहाँ पे क्या होगा, that will be easier for you now. Later when your term project है ना, you have to use this. You understand? अगर suppose मैं directly post कर रहा हूँ to S3, I need to give a key जिससे वो identify होगा. How will you get the key? लोगों को AJAX request मारना पड़ेगा down the line.
That's की भी जरूरत नहीं है.
Okay, tell me, what is the thing? If the browser में email डाला S3 पे, how will I send that key to my server?
What I do is हम लोग properties files को बनाते हैं ना. See, मेरा basic फंडा ये है. If you can ignore the hard coding stuff, ignore it. And ये सब properties you can always push it to.
Which properties?
जो हम लोग ने अभी keys वो सब create किए.
हाँ. That we will be putting in a secret product. That will do. That's fine.
Yeah, and दूसरी बात तो हम लोग ने जैसे अभी application को Spring का एक main फंडा है, तुझे पता है हम लोग reflections और वो सब यूज करते हैं.
Yes.
तो हम लोग एक्चुअली पता नहीं शायद से लोगों के लिए हैवी हो जाता है.
Exactly. Dude, you have to understand. We have to cater to everybody. You cannot. That's why we didn't use the auto add and reflection things. We didn't use that.
ऑटो वायरिंग में बहुत इजी हो जाता है, तो गूगल का बहुत सही है.
But this is good enough.
ये इसने जो कोड किया है ना, I'm not saying it's bad, but it is like जो experienced लोग हैं ना, उन लोग के लिए they would not prefer doing that.
Because we are not supposed to write the code in the controller. We just take it and put it in the service. That's it. But it's the same thing. It's going to the same thing.
ये बोल रहा है.
No, but this code is also good enough.
This is good. This is good for
This is not
beginners.
wrong. This is not wrong.
Not wrong. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying कि इससे भी optimum ways हैं.
Obviously there are. Now AWS has a plugin for Spring.
Yeah.
उससे तो सीधा तो you can host. Once you save the application, goes to EC2 and then gets executed there. But we didn't want to do that. It will be very very simpler. So this is better.
अभी बोला ना Thanaly के बारे में, मैं Google किया. It is actually good.
Better. Way better.
Very good.
Way better.
But JSF with prime faces is better.
What?
JSF with prime faces.
Than Spring Boot with JSP?
Spring Boot with JSF is better.
You cannot use Spring Boot with JSP.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot.
अभी देखा अभी तो.
Tell me what is the use of that? You can use. Frankly, you can use. But we will not be using all the things in Spring Boot. See, Spring provides you. You could use Spring in anything you want.
Yeah.
We could use in JSF for just for dependency injection. We could use Spring. Absolutely, we could do that.
Yeah.
But that's not what we are doing here. We could use JSF and then just introduce Spring and then just for the auto wiring concept.
Yeah.
But why? If we can do everything with Spring Boot and it's so simple. And if it's a prime faces and all, try.
हाँ वो बात तो लगेगा आपको लगेगी, लेकिन हाँ possible है वो. मेरा बोलने का मतलब ये है कि possible है.
Then you will not be using. Then that application will not be called as a Spring application. That application is a JSF application with Spring dependency.
The thing is, you are just integrating MVC in all the layers. Now we are just integrating one single core MVC, that is Spring, rather than distributing the MVCs across the across your development environment. JSF will handle the front end, not the back end, and then वो एक.
You are getting it wrong. JSF is the entire framework by itself. It cannot handle the backend.
You can do it actually.
We will talk about it later because we need to take a class.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
See you later. Okay, guys. Good afternoon. So I don't know why nobody's there again. They're on the way. So what we're going to do is, first of all, I have posted the YouTube video of what we'll be doing today on the blackboard already. So even if you're caught up behind, don't worry, just go home. Like if you open the blackboard now, you can see the YouTube video there. You will need an account and password for that. You need to request a password for that.
No, I need my account.
If you want to use, I have my account. You can use my account if you want to.
I'm carrying my laptop.
Okay, fine. I forgot your name.
Nicholas.
Hi, Nicholas. So last time we tried extracting stuff. Did it work out? Okay.
starting.
So did you, last lab you did understand the concepts of controller, repository, service, and entity, right? A little bit. We don't need to use it now, but you have the basic understanding of them. No.
I may have understood them, but a lot of information passes through my courses over the course of 1 week.
Okay.
I can't remember anything from
Fine.
3 days ago.
Okay, fine. But if you, for this session, even for you, for this session, everything is already pre-recorded. It's already there on the internet. So if you are falling behind, what my idea now is, I'll just go super fast. Earlier, like 10-15 minutes, we'll finish on here. After those 10-15 minutes, you guys will do it by yourself. So if you have problems, we'll get them sorted now. And even if you don't cover it to the internet, no problem. Go on the internet and watch the video. And please, by the time you come in the next live, I would recommend that you finish the thing which we did today. It will really help you, because see, you have the assignment to deadline, which is next Sunday. So by the time you're on the next lab, you should have everything ready. Make sense?
Yeah.
It's actually very easy what we're trying to say. The only problem is, like, because we are not used to the Spring thing by itself, so it might become difficult for you to grasp those concepts. It's more like a Lego blocks, please. It's more like Lego blocks. Once you know how to place them properly, you're like, oh, this is a cheat to handle.
I'm sitting here.
No, you can handle that. You can.
Now,